what shocked me, surprised me, or I loved the most when I first moved to the United States. Now, a little bit about background. My name is Ona. Hi, nice to meet you. I moved to the States when I was 17 years old, and it was 2015 when I moved, and it was late September, so almost 9 years ago. At this point today, I am a citizen. I have passed my citizen test, and yeah, it feels crazy to think because it's gonna be a decade next year, and I have so many thoughts and so many emotions and so many things. Not that I want necessarily to say, but so many things to process that I'm still trying to process. By the way, if I keep looking, you see my eyes are not looking at you right now, but are looking up. That is because I have a viewfinder, a mirror right behind you, so I could see if my camera is still filming, because as we know from the last video, which by the way, if you're joining from the last video, and if you've subscribed from the last video that I posted, welcome. How are you? I am very happy you're here. I actually am geeking that you're here. If you want to know a secret that you didn't ask for, as I'm filming, I think I have 22 or 23 subscribers. Let's assume I have 23. I think I have 22. But let's assume I have 23. Out of those 23, 4 people, one of them is me from my own account, personal account. One of them is my boyfriend. The other one is my brother, and the other one is someone who is basically my sister. So, 4 people are bots. They're fake. But the rest of you are real, and I'm very happy you're here with me, and I am very excited to have you. So, I've only prepared 10 things. We might talk about 11 because, like I said, this is my second time filming this video, and in that one, the other one, I also talked about 11 things, and I think I want to mention the 11th thing because it's just a little funny thing, but let's start off. So the first thing that shocked me when I moved to the States were yellow school buses. Now, if you're not from the States, you know what I'm talking about, okay? It's that you think that they're fake, you think that they're not real, and you only see them in movies, and you think there's no way people actually take them to go to school, okay? There's no way they're actually real, but they are, and they come in different shapes and different sizes, by the way, because there are small yellow buses, and then there are big ones as well, and the big ones usually are for taking more people, but not for my experience, it's also to take sports teams from one school to the other as well, which is crazy. But on the inside, by the way, if you're not from the US, they are super tiny. Thank God I am 5'3" and I could fit my knees properly and I wouldn't be too uncomfortable. However, if you're taller than 5'3", you're kind of fucked, because there's no way for you to be comfortable unless you like sprawl out or something. But even then, I mean, it's insane. I don't know why they don't make them better, but I guess it's just to fit more students. I don't know what their explanation is, but so the yellow school buses is one. The other one is, and these are in random order, by the way, and they're not in any particular order, because when I wrote them down, I was like thinking very fast, and I was like, oh my god, what are the top 10 things that I could think of, and I just wrote them as they came. So the second thing is wild rabbits. Now I live in New England, and course it is, but I mean, what do you expect? It's food. Okay, let's move on from food. Let's talk about iced coffee. I came from a country where you would drink espressos, Turkish coffee, which is this big by the way, Turkish coffee, cappuccinos, macchiatos. So the most that would be like this big. Okay, this big. Iced coffee. When I got here, they gave me Dunkin' iced coffee because it's a staple for New England. That was this freaking big. I think my cousin bought it for me. I'm pretty sure she got me a large, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I don't remember. It was so long ago, but I think she got me a large, and I couldn't finish it. I looked at my brother, and I was like, "What am I gonna do? Like, this is huge. Like, this is insane. Like, this isn't coffee." And I got over that as the years go by, and you do get over that, by the way. And how you get over that is that you fall in love with it. And I can't think of anything better than an iced coffee on a very cold, blizzard, snowy day. And you think I'm joking, but I'm not. That is something that people do here when it's snowing. They go get iced coffee. No one stops them, and it's actually really good. I mean, you freeze. It's really cold, but it's really, really good. Okay. And the next thing I wanted to talk about is this is something. Before I go into that, the last food item thing that I want to talk about is chicken and waffles. Okay, fried chicken and waffles. And before you go, yeah, that's great. Haven't you tried that? No, I haven't. I have not tried that on the principle of I'm crazy and I want to die on this hill because no other reason that I just want to die on this hill. Okay. Now, if you are from the States, this is something really common. Okay, you get fried chicken with waffles and syrup, and it sounds delicious, and I think it is. I mean, I think it probably is. There you go. But where I grew up, I was used to Belgian waffles, so the usual waffles that you get with fried chicken. I was used to having them with ice cream. Hear me out. You're already, if you are from the States, if you've never had that, you're already having something sweet with your Belgian waffle. Have it with ice cream. Okay, have a warm Belgian waffle, put some cold ice cream on top of it, some fresh caramel syrup or just some syrup, and have it. It is so good, and I haven't had anything like that since I moved here, since I moved to the States. And you know what else I haven't had? A crepe, a good, is it crepe? Crepe? I don't know, but I haven't had it because here they like to have that savory, and it's a thing in Albania as well, savory, but they don't have them sweet. They don't have them as sweet as I like them. I used to get them with Nutella and strawberries and flake biscuits. First of all, no, cookie crumbles. There you go. That's how I used to have it. The grapes, and they were so good. But I haven't had them since I moved here, so it's one of those things which is fine. But I miss. Okay. Now this next thing has nothing to do with anything that I've talked so far, and it's sparkly sidewalk. Now, before I explain to you what a sparkly sidewalk is, which is literally what it sounds like, your sidewalks are sparkly, and by your, I mean if you're from the States. I went on this tangent on the other video because I started to explain to you how, oh yeah, and you know what I mean by sparkly sidewalks, in the sense that it sparkled. I sounded like that stupid ass F1 commentator that goes, if the track is wet, it is no longer dry. And I hated myself for that, and I wanted to say in this video as well because I still hate myself for that, okay? Even though that video doesn't exist anymore, but it exists on this one now because no other reason that I'm crazy. I need to stop saying that I'm crazy. I'm actually pretty normal, okay? I'm medicated. No, I'm joking. I am medicated, but it's for anxiety. Now the next thing, these next few things are very, I think, fall related, starting with the fall scent. Now I moved here at the end of September, so as you know, or if you've been to the States in this time of year, in the fall, beginning of fall, you know that everywhere it smells like pumpkin spice, and everywhere you go yourself in the end. I don't know what to say. I've seen it in movies, so I knew it was real. It doesn't, you know what I mean, okay? I never experienced attention in Albania because it wasn't a thing. And before anybody else who's Albanian joins in this comment or joins in this video and then says, well, in my school we had detention. Good for you. In my school we didn't, and no one else I knew had detention either. So bear with me, okay? When I moved to the States, detention is a very real thing, and I got detention I think twice. Once was, I think both of them happened my senior year because, first of all, I have to say this to give myself some slack. I was severely depressed, okay? Severely depressed. I did not want to go to classes. I was barely there mentally, okay? Let alone trying to go to class. But one of the classes that I had was U.S. history. And I have nothing against U.S. history. U.S. history was very interesting, but I hated the teacher. She was a piece of shit, and I stand that to this day. I think that because she's one of those teachers that she would smile all the time for no reason. Now, before you're like, oh no, you sound crazy. You sound as crazy as that teacher. Hear me out. When she would be mad, she would fake smile at you with teeth, okay, with teeth, and you could not understand the mood she was in. She was one of those teachers that was just, her and I did not click, and she knew that, and I knew that we did not click, and I just didn't want to go to classes, and one too many times I went late to her classes because I was debating whether to go or not. And it got to the point where it was one too many times that I had gone late, and she was like, detention, and I was like, yeah, fine, whatever. And all I learned from that detention was that not to go late, to not go at all. And I didn't. I mean, to be fair, I think after that I only went like a handful of times. I don't even know how I passed that class looking back, but it's fine. If you are in that boat, if you are in high school and you have this experience, it's okay. I graduated from university, like I graduated from college. You're gonna be okay. It will not define who you are. And the next class I got in detention was for AP English. And why I got in detention was because I also skipped that class. I actually liked that teacher, but I think I was in the mood to skip. No other reason than that. And I stayed in the library the entire time. And the plan was that my friend was in this class. So I told her, I think she was, if I remember correctly, or maybe not, but I told her, hey, meet me by our lockers, which were actually really close to each other. That was the friend that I decorated the locker to, by the way. So I was like, hey, meet me by the locker after the last period, and it was the last period of the day. So when the bell rang, I left the library. I was going up the stairs to go to my lockers, and lo and behold, as I was gonna go in through the door to go to my locker, guess who I see? My AP English teacher, right in front of me. And he only said one thing to me. He said, detention. And you know what I said? I said, fair enough, I deserve it. I actually said that to him. I said, fair enough. Because there was no sense in arguing. I knew I was in wrong, and I knew I was in the wrong, and what else was I gonna do, you know? But with all of that being said, those are they were supposed to be 10, but I think they ended up being 12 or maybe more. Things that shocked me, surprised me, or that I loved when I moved to the States years ago now. It feels like eons ago, and it also feels like it was only a year ago, so some things don't change. But if you want me to keep making videos like this, and not about this topic, but I mean in general, just let me know what videos you want to see. I plan on doing a bunch more videos, one of them being doing your makeup, one of them maybe being doing my makeup. I have them all written down, and I know someone, if you are still with